All right. Hello again. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So this is, I think, number 22, I think, something like that. So we're going to talk today about 5 things to get ready for closing. So we're going to use the premise that, we're a week, 7 days or so out. Usually at this point, things should be running fairly smooth. There's a lot of background operations between lender, title, agent, just getting things prepped. So in order to ensure that, we're going to go over the 5 things that buyers and sellers should be doing or have ready at least for us. All right?
Perfect.
Let's go. First one. So get the lender, title company, agents, all the requested documents when we ask for them.
So in terms of the lender stuff, obviously just make sure that we've got everything to issue the clear to close, and we can send the funds to the title company. But trust me, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then 3 days before closing, you'll get what's called the closing disclosure, the CD, emailed to you. And the CD will have the final figures and all the bottom line numbers that you need for settlement. So What do they need to get you last minute?
I mean, if it's anything for us, it might be some simple addendums, some last minute things that title needs. Usually on the real estate side, the realtor side, it's really simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually, that really pertains to title and lender mostly. I mean, there's always some last minute stuff, I believe, but it's all about just speed at that point.
Yep.
All right, so have all the repairs completed and invoices sent to agents. So this is obviously much more for when you're selling a house. We see a lot of things derail because the repairs aren't done, the invoices are sent. My advice is this: when you're selling a house, just have those done as early as possible. Yep. You never know how the buyer's going to react. You never know, if you're not there to supervise the repair, was it done accurately? The buyer's going to do a final walkthrough anyway. Give yourself some lead time to make sure those repairs were done correctly. If they weren't, you can have them redone, have the contractor come back. All right, so at least a week ahead of time, make sure that's all done.
Yeah,
right?
And usually get invoices if it's something pretty big.
Yeah, we try to, yeah.
So,
all right, transfer your BG&E and set up your cable. So this is pretty easy nowadays. So most of this can all be done online, but understand you're going to transfer your BG&E for the day of closing, okay? And that can be done online most of the time. And then I usually tell people, for your cable, however you're going to use, make the appointment now. I mean, when you're going to close. When you close, the house is yours, so set the appointment up.
Perfect. Then have all funds wired to the title company. So pretty much as we discussed earlier, you'll get the closing disclosure 3 days before settlement, and you want to make sure that you wire the funds to the title company. We usually tell people 24 to 48 hours before.
Yeah.
And when you wire the funds too, there's 2 things. One, you could always wire a little bit more than what you need or what's shown on the closing disclosure, and the title company will cut you a check back for the difference. This way, like in case the water bill changes, it goes up a few bucks, or you have the funds there.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing too is nowadays there's a lot of fraud with wires. Title companies will not accept a personal check or certified check anymore. They only accept wires. So what you have to do is wire the funds, but be careful because of fraud. So before you wire the funds, call the title company, verify the wiring instructions are accurate.
That's really good advice, yeah. And, a lot of people, I think, are sometimes surprised, but understand most title companies will only accept a wire. So you really can't, for the most part, bring a check. Even certified checks, for the most part, they don't allow anymore. So it's all wires. I think the other important thing in this, too, is take the time to sit down with the lender, your real estate agent, and go over that closing disclosure. You're going to go over it when you get to settlement anyway, but either one of them can explain it to you. Make sure you understand the numbers. I mean, it's a simple document, but make sure you know where all that money's going. Mistakes are rarely made, but sometimes they are, and going over that, to make sure everything's accurate.
Always ask questions.
Yeah.
So, and then actually, before we get to the last slide, I think we should talk about the actual closing, the day of event.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's scheduled around your time.
Sure, yeah.
And how long does closing typically take?
30 to 45 minutes. So it honestly depends on how much small talk there is.
Yeah.
That's what really takes. I mean, the paperwork part probably takes 30 minutes at most.
Yeah.
To sign all the documents, and then there's always some back and forth. So
And it's not it's eventful, but it's not
it's very anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly.
People are always surprised, especially if it's your first house, your first sale. They're expecting this huge ordeal, and it's really you're just there. Yeah.
Exactly. So and then after closing, what happens?
So understand when you sign, this is actually an interesting concept for people. That house is yours.
Yep.
So if you are ready to paint, if you're ready to move in, if you're ready to throw a party, if you're ready to take a nap, schedule all your stuff as soon as possible. Don't delay, because that's now your house. It's also your responsibility. So,
yeah,
good luck.
It's all yours.
Yeah, perfect. So that was quick.
So
yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we'll post this again afterwards, and thanks for watching.
Yeah. And I know that Pete actually put something very important too. He said, "Don't buy anything after or before closing."
Yeah.
So that's important. You could buy whatever you want in terms of your own credit, and we talked about this on a few other podcasts. But we will, as a lender, monitor your credit before closing. So just don't go out buy a new car. Don't go out and buy anything crazy like that. So we'll know.
Nice to see Mark has joined as well.
Yeah.
So. Glad to see
right.
these guys are working. All right, guys. See you.
Take care.